Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hi, this is Anupam Bokeh from Hindustan Unilever. It's a fantastic case study today, something which is bound to explode in terms of opportunities for Indian filmmaking outside in the international world. What I'm specifically looking at, what are the various cuts of comparison that they have taken between the Indian film production versus, say, Hollywood? What are the insights they have managed to dig out in the process? And have they suggested something which is differentiated and not generic? I'm specifically focusing on differentiated, which is a little more insightful and more innovative as a solution. And even if there is one, I'll give full marks to that. So that's what exactly I'm looking at.
Hi, I'm Ajit Andhare from Viacom 18 Motion Pictures. Of course, what we are looking forward from today evening is first the understanding of the problem, a basic appreciation of the issue, and if we are able to find a fresh perspective and even a direction of what the solution looks like, then I think I'll be a happy man.
Hi, I'm Anant Rangaswamy from CNBC TV 18. I think this is a fascinating case study because it could be applied by any entity in the film production business in any part of the world, because they all have similar problems. Everybody wants to get business Hollywood size, and well, they don't get it. So I'd like to see what both the teams have to say about this. I'm looking forward to this one.
Lights, camera, and 100 years of Indian cinema. Hello and welcome to Season 5 of Lessons in Marketing Excellence. I'm Shruti Mishra. Today's episode features the campus round of IIM Ahmedabad, where two teams from the institute make an attempt to crack the case study provided by Viacom 18 Motion Pictures. Now, IIM Ahmedabad is the second of the IIMs to be established in the country and has always been ranked among the top 5 B schools of India. The likes of Raghuram Rajan, KV Kamath, Harsha Bhogle and Sanjeev Bikhchandani have all walked through IIM Ahmedabad's power corridors. IIM Ahmedabad has had an interesting rendezvous with Lime in the last 4 years. Finishing a close second in Season 1, the institute took home the trophy in Season 2 after cracking a case study for the Olympic Gold Quest. In Season 3, the institute slipped to the 4th spot and then slipped further down to the 9th position in Season 4. Can the institute win back the title? Let's wait and watch. India is the largest producer of movies with around 1,200 films hitting the screen every year. The last 2 years have seen a dramatic shift in industry trends, with small budget movies being widely accepted and thus making profits. Carving a niche for themselves in this sector is India's first studio model-based motion pictures, Viacom 18, with an average of 10 releases a year. However, the major roadblock is to capture Western audience. Hollywood, that produces only a fraction of the movies made world over, garners a staggering 75% of total revenues. The challenge for IIM Ahmedabad is to devise a business plan to market Bollywood films globally, increase audience size, thereby increasing the revenue earned from foreign market.
Cinema is a very young language, and there is a certain amount of consistency in the youth speak which is there globally. We are looking forward to the students to actually help us understand this universal language better and help us in that endeavor to take Hindi movies into those international markets. We want them to help us understand what we should be doing to capture these markets, where and how we can do that.
Now that we've met our mentor and we know what the challenge is, it's now time to meet our two teams from IIM Ahmedabad. This year we celebrated 100 years of Indian cinema, and your challenge is also about 100 years of Indian cinema. So team, you'll have 5 minutes to pen down 100 things associated with Indian cinema. So get your filmy masalas in place and start writing. Your time starts now. Alright, Team Lime Stars, you went first and you scored a 38. Team Nisarga, you went second and you scored 48. So clearly, you're the winner. The winner gets to decide who will present first tonight. Which team will present first?
They will present first.
With that, it's time to take a short break. On the other side, both the teams from IIM Ahmedabad will present their business solutions to the jury, and we find out which one makes it to the climax of this feature presentation. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Lime Season 5, the IIM Ahmedabad Campus Round. The two teams, Lime Star and Nisarga, are all geared up to present their solutions to the case study by Viacom 18 Motion Pictures. The team that moves on to the semi-finals from here also wins itself a cheque for 50,000 rupees and a fast-track route to the pre-placement round at HUL. With that, it's now time to meet our jury panel for the day. From CNBC TV 18, we have Mr. Anant Rangaswamy. Representing Viacom 18 is Ajit Andhare, Chief Operating Officer of its film business. And from HUL, we have Anupam Harinarayan Bouquet, General Manager from Brand Development. Welcome, judges. We now have Team Lime Stars presenting their solutions to the jury. Team, you'll be given 3 minutes to present. After that, we'll sound a buzzer. That indicates the end of your time, and this will be followed by a Q&A session with the jury. All the best, guys. The floor's open to you, and your time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. With an objective to increase the global footfall on audience size of the Bollywood films, we embarked on the journey of our primary and secondary research. In the secondary research, we have analyzed the Korean and the Iranian movies, and we have come across the success factors that these movies have. And on the primary research, we have spoken to NRIs, we have spoken to exchange students on our campus, and we have also done a quantitative survey of approximately 95 respondents. We have 4 insights for secondary research. First, drama and romance are the most popular genre among the NRIs, and novelty of the content is the popular one among the foreigners. The second is the language is not a barrier if your content is right. If your content is right, then language doesn't matter. And third is the stories around political, social, and personal issues. They tend to get more traction than the others. And finally, aggressive marketing. This point has been omitted by, this point has not been looked upon by many producers, that aggressive marketing is also very important. So we come out with a success mantra for Bollywood films, that is the appealing content plus the aggressive marketing. Now coming to our primary research, we find that the reputation of the storyline, the over-dramatic and overly romantic theme, and the less marketing has led to the barrier for Bollywood films across borders. Romance and comedy is one of the leading genres for NRIs, and social media and word of the mouth are the main sources of information for the people who are living abroad. And we found that the overseas sales depends upon the domestic sales, the budget of the movie, the actors, and whether the movie is shot overseas or whether the movie is shot in India. Now, based on that, we have segmented the market in the 2 divisions, and based on the genre, based on the budget, based on the stars. In the short run, we have focused on the entertainment-focused movies, and in the long runs, we have the issue-focused movies. Accordingly, we have created the marketing strategy. For the marketing strategy, we have for star-focused movies, it will be family entertainment, which should be marketed, promoted in online medium. And for content-focused movie, it should revolve around an issue, and that should be, again, promoted using social media and other forms as well. Celebrity endorsement and tweeters we also do. We also propose a site called Viacom for Viacom 18. There is a viaboli.com which will have which will not only promote the movies but also the overall Bollywood things to the NRIs. So we have basically 4 recommendations. First is the focus on the quality and the diversity of the content, and the aggressive marketing as a second. And third is promote Bollywood as a whole, and finally provide subtitles for those in order to remove the language barrier.
If I look at your recommendations, which is essentially first tackling the content issue, moving away from, let's say, what has been the staple of the films that are getting produced, and then, marrying it with an aggressive marketing using social media and so on and so forth. What do you think is holding this back?
So I'd like to address this problem from 2 perspectives. One thing is there is an inherent inertia for the movie producers to produce movies based on the past success factors, which is what, as per the recommendations, should not happen. But though there is everything that has been tried and tested, there is no proven success formula in terms of what exactly clicks with the audience and what doesn't click. So one of the key recommendations is, we have seen in the past that there have been numerous number of movies which have been success, even being low on content. So nobody is able to explain that, except for the fact that it has been happening only with aggressive promotions.
My specific question is, to what product market is the current product aimed at? Can you identify the segment for which this particular, the focus of content has been on which segment?
So basically, in the NRI segment, there are two kinds of, based on the primary research, there are two kinds of people who go for movies. One, they go it with the family, and one, they go it with the couples. So, and one, they go it with the friends. For NRI, going with friends because they don't have friends with the same, do not understand Hindi. That's a kind of problem for them. For couples, if they go in couples, they usually prefer the romance movies. And if they go with the family, they usually prefer the drama or the comedy movies.
I think what I'm trying to get your attention to is, who is your consumer? Is that clear?
So in the short run, we will like to target the current diaspora with aggressive marketing. And then in the long run, we'll have to go to the global audience, because that is the cash cow for us in a much later stage.
Now, I want to give you an opportunity. One key insight which you found was a big difference between the way the Bollywood movies are created and marketed versus the way Hollywood does it today. And your solution need not be a combination of do what Hollywood does today or try to find a path in between the two.
Not just the Hollywood segment, I would like to focus on two different industries. One is the Iranian industry, one is the Korean industry. They have very specific content focus over there. They focus about the empowerment of women, the socio-political issues over there, and they are low budget movies. But somehow they have been able to transform their culture from time to time, and they have made it westernized. So that is one success mantra for focusing on a certain particular feature that is unique to your geography and bringing it open into the in front of the global audience. The other thing is with respect to the promotional part. So we are already constrained for budget, but what we can do, and that is being done in the West, is targeting of the digital media. There is out-of-home marketing, there is promotions through Facebook, Twitter, etc. And trust me when I say this thing, that a person now, there has been a shift in the change as per our research, that a person doesn't trust the critics' review as much as the friend's recommendation.
Tell me anything in this presentation that you needed research to do.
We need research for all these insights and recommendations.
What insights are there?
So first of all, the industries that are working abroad, that is Korean industries and Iranian industries, we didn't know about them much. Right. In the sense, we got to know about these things after talking to the exchange students.
So that's what you couldn't have got with research. Anything else that you got because of research?
We also got to know about the choices through the questionnaire that which we had floated across in different geographies. We also came to know that there are certain preferences of different stars. For example, Shah Rukh Khan is pretty much...
okay. Yeah,
so,
that's not...
okay. Whatever the insights are, we can hypothesize something, but that may not be true. That can be my individual perception.
Right.
But when we get some survey, when we interview people, we get to know many things. And
that's only a ratification. That's not new insight. Okay, thanks.
With that, it's now time for another short break. On the other side, it's Team Nisarga's turn to make their case to the jury. And we'll know which team out of the two from IIM Ahmedabad qualifies to the semi-finals. Stay tuned.
No, yeah, as a finalist, campus finalist, you do expect tough questions to be asked. And that's what makes us more robust.
It seemed that we had worked on the different issues, but they were looking for certain specifics, which we could have probably focused on better.
Welcome back. You're watching Lime Season 5, the IIM Ahmedabad Campus Round. It's now time to call our next team, Team Nisarga, to make their case. Team, you'll be given 3 minutes to present, after which we'll sound a buzzer. That indicates the end of your time, and this will be followed by a Q&A session with the jury. All the best, guys. Your time starts now.
What define Indian film industry? Three things: largest number of viewership, highest number of movies released per year, lowest average ticketing price. Despite this, problem still persists, mainly due to fewer financial options, dual taxation policies of government, increasing competition from Hollywood, as well as the rising Chinese film industry. Moreover, monotonous theme and lack of technology has made it nearly impossible for Bollywood to produce a top grosser film globally. Still, things are looking up, and with some positive reforms down the line. With the reference to segmentation and positioning, we have divided the Bollywood global audience on the basis of age and nationality. We identify 40 high potential countries to release our movies globally using multi-dimensional criteria such as number of screens, income level, and movie launches per year and 4 others. We studied the existing pricing system and we came to an understanding that there needs to be a better coordination among players in whole value chain of movie making to reduce the risk involved for all. For the given objective, our team has come up with the following recommendations. We propose a customized 360-degree marketing plan for home and South Asian countries, which had proved to be a successful model in case of movies such as Harry Potter and Ravan, and use of digital medium to promote movies in other parts of globe. Collaboration and joint venture with international distributors on line of successful movies like My Name is Khan and Chennai Express will do 2 things for us. It will increase the awareness and reach of our movie, avoid clashing with the releasing window of big Hollywood movies. Moreover, 100% FDI means more funds. We recommend to use this money to build technical infrastructure and improve the skill set of people, as in future, this industry will be more and more driven by technology. We also recommend timely collaboration with the internationally renowned brand as part of product placement strategy for promoting our movies and as well as expanding our revenue base. Finally, we recommend to tap exponentially growing Chinese market. It is forecasted that China will even surpass Hollywood in terms of largest movie market by 2020. With respect to piracy, we propose some best measures adopted by industry globally, like domain seizures, forcing ISP to block sites, cutting of finances for such firms, pressure on web hosts and public awareness.
Now, as action plan, our action plan includes analyzing all the movie making stages, where in the first stage, the movie development stage, we are recommending to increase the duration of this stage from currently 6 to 12 months to 1.5 to 3 years, so that enough time will be available to for the director, producer, and others to evaluate all the options. In the next stage, the pre-production stage, we are recommended to decide the production and promotional budget, particularly in this stage only. And in the third stage, the production, which is considered as the most expensive stage, we are recommending to divide this stage into the shorter span to evaluate or check the overshooting or the expenses. In the fourth stage, we are recommending to use the promotional plan that my friend has been suggested to you. In the last stage, we are suggesting to decrease the execution period, and in last, we are also recommending to introduce the pay and watch system.
So have you been able to assess the potential for what can a Hindi film actually do if it is able to address the market appropriately?
As we mentioned in the slides, that we have identified 40 potential countries where we can release our movie, and we started with China. There are very strict measures in China which led to restrictions there for the movie industry. And the movie that we produce are very much similar to the culture of China, by which we can, and this collaboration with Chinese actors as well as shooting at the location of China, the restrictions which we have is 20% investment, and we have to shoot in China, and we have to get some actors from China. And
if I may just stop you. So I know those details and your sort of Chinese slant in your solution. I think what I'm looking for is what is the handle on opportunity? Are we looking at a 400 crore opportunity, 200 where? What is the sense on that?
There is a stagnant in the Hollywood industry, and we can see that Indian industry is constantly growing from the 12%. So we can see that there is an opportunity from this growth, and we can see that even there is also potential from some of the other countries, like we mentioned China. Currently, it's true that like Hollywood possesses the 41% of the total revenue of the industry, but with the 12% growth that the Indian industry is having, it will be like futurely it will be matching to the Hollywood.
What do you think is holding back the Indian studios from addressing this market?
The first thing that we analyze the perception about the Indian movies. Actually, global audience perceive Indian movies as the lack of technology, lack of content, and they think that Indian movies are dominating in the social themes, which may be true up to this extent. So there is a problem of perceptions. That's the reason Indian movies are not able to dominate in the international market. But there are some recent trend we can see from the movie Kahani, and there was some Wazipur, like these kind of famous movie. These recent trends are changing, and these Indian movies are now becoming acceptable to the international audience.
While you started very well, interesting pieces of data, interesting comparisons, good insights drawn, but it did not conclude to a recommendation which led you anywhere. Do you want to just think for 2 minutes and just say what else was missing in the analysis, which could have actually led to somewhere?
Actually, what we have found that maybe there was a lack of good promotional strategy in our PPT. But later after realizing that, we found that there can be a chance of 360-degree promotional strategy in case of India and South Asian countries, and for the other part of the world where it's too expensive to go for this strategy, you can go for 360-degree digital marketing strategy, which is not that expensive as compared to this 360-degree promotion strategy where you usually use all the promotional channels. But if you talk about other countries like US, Australia, it's quite difficult to use all the channels which this 360-degree promotional mix use. So in that way, rather than we are suggesting use 360-degree digital marketing strategy like social media and product placements and like email and these kind of strategy to market our product.
You know, you're talking 40 countries, a lot of money, this, that. I've not heard anything about content at all, except to say big stars, non-stars. That's all. What content will address these 40 countries? Just whatever we're doing, we can slap it and take it there?
Actually, their motion picture system, which usually divide the countries according to the kind of preference of the audience that have. If you see that, if you follow that, then you can generate a content according to that particular
So
country.
basically you're saying copy what was being done by Hollywood.
No, sir, that is not being done by, because there are nearly 51 countries that has been categorized by this motion picture system, where they found that these are some of the criteria, these are some of the preference that these audience have particularly about the movies. Like there are some categories like these 8 to 13 age group have this kind of preference, particularly in these movies. So what I'm saying ki definitely Indian movies are lacking content. They are like restricted to only the social themes currently, but there are also recent examples and we are in our
Okay, thanks.
Team, I'd request you to kindly step out while our jury deliberates and pens down the final results.
These two were far more committed to
The case per se.
to the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
They started off very well.
One of the jury also mentioned that our content was very good, but the recommendations we give were somewhat not complete recommendations as what was written in our presentation.
Of course, both the teams have missed the central point.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I think you have to sort of let that pass.
We now realizing that we couldn't fulfill the requirement of the jury. They were more demanding.
This is an opportunity to bring out whatever is the best they have to present.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
All right, so I have the winner with me, and I have to admit it hasn't been as close as this one for this entire season 5 for Lime. There's just a margin of 0.1. So the team that has won has just won by 0.1. And the winner for this campus round for IIM Ahmedabad is Team Nisar. Congratulations, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the Ahmedabad campus round. Next week, we'll bring you all the action from XLRI Jamshedpur as they put on their running shoes to brave the jury from Puma. Until then, goodbye and many thanks for watching.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.